My wife and I, we've spent our life savings keeping those horses that way. We want them to stay just like we think that they were when the Choctaw people brought them here. And there's not a day that goes by, you know, not one day that goes by that these horses hadn't occupied my mind for 30 years.
The Choctaw name for horse is Isolba, which comes from the words Issi and Holba. It means like a deer. And the fact that Choctaws would give the horse this name signifies its importance. You know, the deer was the most important animal in Choctaw traditional culture. It was a main food animal. It was something that was intimately tied in with the Choctaw way of thinking about the world.
At least 2,000 and probably many more Choctaw horses were lost on the Trail of Tears. But of course, a lot of them ended up coming into Indian territory and they were used by the people here. Accounts from the time period talk about Choctaws hooking up plows to the horse and using them to plow the fields. Choctaws in Oklahoma developed a significant cattle economy.
My understanding is that there are only about 350 Choctaw ponies left that we know about for sure. And conserving that breed is important because it's tied to 500 years of Choctaw history. For good or bad, they've been there and been a part of us for that long.
This is my old buddy here. He's OKP. I can start to saddle another horse. This horse will come and crowd in between me and the other horse, want me to put my saddle on him. That's the only kind of horse I had when I was a kid, was a little Choctaw horse, because they were kind of considered by people in the quarter horse age at that time of being the inferior broomtail. Even though I could do anything with my horse they ever did with theirs. And most of the time I could outdo it on her. See how wild she is. Whoa, 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 whoa. How many horses can you do that to?
Basically, very, very few people kept them going, but there were some. Gilbert Jones was one of those, Bryant Rickman and some others, including some old Choctaw families like the Thurmans and the Carters, also had the horses. And then we start a program with the Rickmans mainly of trying to manage the horses so that that Choctaw lineage doesn't disappear, so that we could manage the genetics of them and keep the line going. They're an example of a long relationship of a certain people with a certain animal. And so much as we save historic buildings or we save other monuments, this is a sort of living monument to a nation.
The Choctaw have been breeding since the 16th century, and the Chickasaw and all the southeastern tribes, and each of them bred for specific things. And when you see what the Choctaw were using them for, the versatility mattered. They hunted on them, they fought on them, they picked up deer on them, they put their children on them before they could walk. So they really bred for intelligence, versatility, endurance, and then the whole removal culled out anything that wasn't strong. If you look at the shape of the horse, it's distinctive. If you look at the mind of the horse, it's distinctive, and they love to work. You know, the thing we notice is once they get a job and they know the person they're doing it with, they want to do the job. Introducing these horses to Virginia has been a lot of fun. When people come up and say, "What kind of pony is that?" You know, you're very proud to say Choctaw.
They are something that deserves, they have a heritage, and they really, really deserve to go on. And I think they really deserve, not just to the Choctaw people or the Native American people, but for all of mankind.